This is Dr. Louis Cortez speaking. You're here for your assignment on the 20th of September. Considering that a bunch of morons are gonna try to storm Area 51, we need to fill you in on how the skip works. Need to know basis only, so I'll be as brief as possible. The SCP arrived on Earth in 1940 in an egg. It was originally discovered by the United States Air Force, which transported it to Nevada. SCP-1051 did not come into Foundational attention until 1950, following a distress signal by Air Force personnel stationed at Area 51. Let's get started with the anatomy of SCP-1051, also known as Addendum 1051-1. As you can see here, this is an aerial photograph of SCP-1051, taken in 1950. It's worth to note that the majority of SCP-1051 is underground. So, here at number 1, we have the mouth of SCP-1051. When prey walks in, the door is shut and prey is pushed deeper into SCP-1051's body. Over at 2, we have the gizzard of SCP-1051, which grinds prey into fine paste before digesting. 3 is the stomach of SCP-1051, digesting prey into nutrients and waste products. 4, we have the sphincter and waste tube of SCP-1051. The nutrients are sent to point 5, while waste product is released through southern cavity. 5 is the brain of SCP-1051. At 6, we have the distributing organ of SCP-1051. It's worth to note that this organ extends several different antennae and wires underground, allowing it to connect to various phone lines, emit radio transmissions, and connect to satellites. Foundation personnel have only been able to discover of the presumed antennae SCP-1051 utilizes above ground. So yeah, they're still working on this. And last, at 7, the tongue of SCP-1051. It was uncertain at first if it actually was the tongue, because the analysis of this paved area has shown fine indentations in the concrete, suggesting that SCP-1051 may have taste buds. And this was confirmed on the 19th after SCP-1051 retracted it momentarily following a chemical spill, giving the appearance of a disappearing airstrip. Now let's quickly discuss Addendum 1051-2, some transmissions successfully distributed by SCP-1051. It all involves repeated uploading of various false information to various conspiracy websites, including, but not limited to, information of various spacecraft being reverse engineered inside itself, various Men in Black theories of extraterrestrial contact, its use as testing for the following items: exotic energy weapons, weather controlling devices, time and teleportation machines, and impossible propulsion systems. Various messages in radio and television transmissions regarding its use by shadow government. This, though, is considered a high-level information leak, so Class A amnestics are authorized for use dependent on the level of classified information here. Calls to several production studios in California, dozens of calls, faxes, and emails to the National Enquirer offices in the National Enquirer offices have been monitored by Foundation personnel since 1980. Masked orders to officially reveal its existence sent to US military intelligence. And last but not least, the Facebook event Storm Area 51 They Can't Stop All of Us. So you see why you're here and why you've been called here. Each of you will have different assignments and different tasks. You should know them by now. If anything is unclear, check your emails. Hello? 1051? Can you hear me?
Give.
Pardon?
Give.
Give what?
One food.
You don't get any food.
Area 51 is currently being controlled by the SCP Foundation, a shadow government organization that has designated it SCP-1051. Here are a few names of the operatives.
Send out D7238. There. Now, why are you sending out these signals?
Bring food.
What do you mean?
Learn humans curious. Make curious.
What about those discs we captured?
Catch baby.
They're eggs? Reproduced that way?
Dr. Richardson, Agent Outlaw, Agent Grissom. Its coordinates are the following.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Good afternoon.
So you're working in Area 51, yes? The Air Force Base?
Yes.
And what project were you assigned to?
Security and regulation of research regarding the unidentified flying object recovered from Roswell in 1947.
And what was the object itself?
White dome-shaped meteoroid.
What did they discover during research?
The meteoroid was hollow, but filled with some kind of liquid. Something was very slowly moving around inside of it.
And how long did study of the object take place?
Years.
It would have continued longer, but it was interrupted, yes?
Yes.
You were the one that sent out the distress signal.
Yes.
Why?
The meteoroid hatched.
Pardon?
The meteoroid hatched. It was an egg.
And that's when you sent out the distress signal.
Yes.
Can you describe the incident in more detail?
Dr. James, Dr. Gold, and I, we were working late. We heard a cracking noise and looked at the object. A crack began to appear along it. Of course we were surprised, so we just stared. Then, after about 5 more minutes of cracking, it broke through the shell.
It?
The alien. We began to run, but something snaked out of the shell and grabbed Dr. James. Then it absorbed him. Dr. Gold and I both escaped out of the hangar, and that's when I sent out the distress signal.
What happened then?
As I was finishing signaling, Dr. Gold tapped me on the shoulder and pointed at the hangar. I turned to look and saw it shaking. Then it expanded a bit and just collapsed. Inside we could see it writhing around.
Was Dr. James there?
No. The alien that began to form a shell weren't itself. The shell moved around a little, then it suddenly looked like a hangar.
Is that it?
So after that, your men arrived and took me in for questioning. So yeah.
Alright. Thank you for your time, Sergeant. Good evening, Doctor.
Yourself?
I'd like to ask some questions about Dr. James.
He was a good friend of mine.
I am sure this is hard for you.
It's fine. Go on.
What were Dr. James's interests?
I suppose his interest was his job. Real sci-fi nut.
Really?
Well, Dr. James always liked to go on about stuff from other worlds, new technologies. Hell, he could have been a writer for all these B-movies you see in the cinema.
What was his opinion on the military?
Well, he was working for them, of course, so keep this under your head. But Dr. James honestly thought they actually already had aliens.
Where did you think they kept the extraterrestrial?
He didn't mention it, or he just didn't know. Probably figured that if he already had a secret meteoroid, he must have had an honest-to-God spacecraft somewhere, kept secret.
I have one more thing, Doctor.
Go on.
Does anything about this seem familiar? You don't get any food.
Where did you get this?
What he asked.
That voice! It's Dr. James!
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
No, wait!
Oh my god, they're doing it.
My god. They really are attempting to breach the gate? I didn't think they would pull through with it. I have to stop them! If all of them get lured into the hangar!
Don't worry, Planes supplied with sleeping gas will fly over the area any second, giving him a good rest for a while. Wait and watch. See? There you go. Situation's under control.